everybody to the first of many episodes of Ergo Pulse, where we are going to cover the exciting developments of the Ergo ecosystem. I'm going to have awesome guests for you. My name is Daniel Friedman, and hosting the show with me is Joseph.
Yep. We're going to keep our finger on the pulse of what's moving around in the Ergo ecosystem. Crypto can be a bit hectic in terms of the pulse that it moves at.
What do you think of that little market correction the other day? That was fun, wasn't it?
I'm sure that got some pulses moving. It's one of those things, the market party, and then all of a sudden the hangover kicks in.
It's just a lot of uncertainty out there. But listen, the one thing that you can be certain about is the Ergo ecosystem is constantly growing and developing. The cool thing about Ergo, as you all know, and Joe can back me up on this, is it is running right out of the box, right? Right out of the box. I mean, Joe, tell me, you really described it really well the other day. I mean, just tell me how was the Ergo ecosystem launched? It was like launched backwards.
Ergo system came to market with smart contracts. We had our own custom programming language that was built with custom tooling in pre-net days. We have dApps that are live that developers built that have no tokenomics behind them. Usually in the crypto space, you say, okay, well, I'm going to tokenize, and that's a fundraising mechanism before you see anything. And, sometimes it grows into something you see, and sometimes it grows into something you don't see, right? Where, you tokenize a project and poof, it's gone. Ergo has really done well in terms of building applications and then thinking, okay, how do we build an economy on top of that application? Like, how do you bring it to market in a way that makes sense based on its use case that already exists, instead of trying to price a product before you have a product? Like, if we were to start a company and say, hey, Dan, we're going to, bring a product to market, but we don't have a product, we don't know our costs, we don't, have kind of that foresight, that's difficult to predict. It's a lot of variables there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what's great about Ergo is, I mean, right now there's dApps running on it. Right now there are DEXs running on it, right? Because what is the big buzzword right now is DeFi. Everybody wants to see DeFi. Cardano is getting a lot of shit about about the Cardano DeFi, when Cardano DeFi, yada, because, everybody wants it right now, right now, give me instant gratification. That's the problem with the space, I think. Everybody thinks that everything needs to happen right away or else it's over.
Well,
we don't wait for.
If the pulse moves too fast, you end up with a heart attack, right? Things take time.
Exactly. Tell me, Joe. I mean, tell me, what is your impression of DeFi on Ergo, cross-chain DeFi, and just native DeFi on Ergo?
My favorite way to describe DeFi on Ergo is that is what it was built for. But back in, let's say, testnet days, Alex said it's built for financial contracts. Right? We have a stable store of value with financial contracts on top of it, which today is DeFi.
Yeah, it is. That's what DeFi is.
That's what DeFi is. But, we kind of started building for DeFi before DeFi was a thing. And, obviously, coming from the Cardano side. Yeah, coming from the Cardano side, that extended UTXO really does have some benefits for DeFi. Now, that's something that's still rolling out. It's still let's say growing, developing, but kind of on the base core of that contract model, I think there's some definite benefits that both Ergo and Cardano will benefit from. So as we see these systems coming online, I think it's definitely the contract model to watch.
Absolutely. Yeah, and actually today, speaking of DeFi, our first guest is going to be none other than ErgoDex. Okay, and I know a lot of you heard about ErgoDex. I know a lot of you are wondering about ErgoDex. It's considered one of the top Dex projects on both Ergo and Cardano, and we're going to have one of the top, at least the senior developer and founder of ErgoDex join us today, and to show us how the UI and the UX works, because I really think that is an inherent problem with the way information is being channeled today to the community. The community here's the buzzword, right? They hear DeFi. They hear DeFi on Ergo, DeFi on Cardano. Some didn't even really know what DeFi is. They just kind of know it, and they just think, oh yeah, DeFi. That's when you blockchain stuff with money. And it's okay, because look, it's a new term, and really you can't expect the average person to have this full grasp of what it is, especially if we are going to attract new users into the ecosystem, that haven't used blockchain, that haven't used DeFi, that don't know what the EXO is. They don't know, exactly what a swap does. I mean, they kind of know because, well, it swaps stuff, but I mean, what exactly is that? And that's why I thought that it would be really good to bring on our friends from ErgoDex, and for them to really show you, to really help you visualize what a DEX would look like and looks like on Ergo and Cardano, and really what the experience would be like, just take the mystery out of it. And I really think, I mean, what do you think, Joe? Is this something that the community is lacking right now, is kind of visibility into what these things actually look like?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, we have a variety of financial tools that are going to start budding, growing, and kind of taking on a life of their own. And that's already happening on, a lot of different blockchains and different ecosystems. And it kind of takes on a different flavor in each particular network. I'm excited to have Ilya on today. He's kind of been one of my go-to people when I have a problem. Even if it's not his area, usually he's the guy that I'm like, hey, Ilya, help me out with a problem with an exchange, which, he's busy doing all kinds of other stuff, but usually he shows up. And he's a good developer. He's been around for a long time, and he's actually quite a young guy.
Well, without further ado, let's bring on our friend, Ilya, the founder and senior developer of ErgoDex.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Joseph. Thank you for the introduction. Nice to be here.
ErgoDex is a cross-chain DEX that is available right now, running right this second, right now running on Ergo. You can use it. You can go after the show and check it out on your own. And soon to be operational on Cardano, because everybody's talking about when DeFi. Well, ErgoDex is one of the first movers of DeFi on Cardano right now. Okay, and we'll talk about that later. So, welcome to the show, Ilya. Really nice to have you. And so, why don't you just tell the viewers how did you come to join the Ergo and Cardano ecosystems, and how did you come up with the idea of having a DEX be your main contribution? Because this is obviously taking a lot of your time. In fact, all of your time, I can imagine.
I joined Ergo project in 2018, I guess, as a core developer. Worked there for some time on some core stuff like Ergo reference node, Ergo blockchain explorer, wallets, and etc. As for ErgoDex project, I started it in January 2021. as an implementation of ideas which were around in Ergo community for quite some time. I'm talking about atomic swaps, automated market makers. There were a demand for it on Ergo for sure. And then when we implemented it on Ergo, we decided to expand on Cardano, because Cardano had very similar EUTXO model. So we decided that it shouldn't be too difficult to port it to Cardano and have a DEX operational on both blockchains. Now we have implemented the UI for protocol. It's fully operational, as you said, on Ergo blockchain, and soon it will be available on Cardano blockchain also.
Yeah, this is actually something that we're going to show you in just a little bit is the UI, and I really, really like it, and I'll tell you why. Living in Japan, I worked for a long time. I worked in Japanese IT companies, and one of the things that I could never get across is simple is better. Okay, because for some reason, even today, pretty much every single major Japanese website looks like a market. It's just got spinning images and crazy stuff going. There's no one point you can concentrate on. It drives me absolutely crazy. So it's really nice to see a nice, clean UI, straightforward. It looks great, but it's straightforward. You go on there, you know what's going on. There is no learning curve. You can just you can get in there and you can use it. I really like that. So something that I wanted to ask Ilya is I'm sure there's a lot of people out there wondering, how is it to work, cross-chain? Because, both Ergo and Cardano are about interoperability. We're not, one blockchain to rule them all type of people. We are part of, as you said, EUTXO Alliance that has several projects in it, including Ergo and Cardano. And so I just wanted to, ask you to give a kind of a brief, paint a brief picture of how it is to port from Ergo to Cardano. And of course, Cardano uses Plutus, the Plutus library, which is basically it sits on top of Haskell, which is what Cardano's written in. So please elaborate on that. How was that for you?
Right. As you said, first of all, it's all about porting the code base from what we have on Ergo. Ergo stack is ErgoScript, which is basically a subset of Scala. And all the code base, off-chain code, off-chain services is all written for Ergo in Scala language. And for Cardano, we have completely different stack. It's Haskell, it's Plutus. Plutus is a subset of Haskell. So we had to rewrite all the code base in Haskell. And actually, as a functional programmer, I like coding in Haskell as much as I like Scala. So it was a pleasure for me and for my for other ErgoDex developers, as we are all committed to this functional, well-typed approach to writing code. So it took some time to rewrite all the code base, but it was an interesting journey for us.
So you're building on two chains. Oh, sorry, Dan.
Yeah.
You're building on two chains, two different dexes and two different languages simultaneously. Yeah?
Yeah, that's basically what we are doing now. And later we are going to connect these two branches to make them interoperable. So like now it's basically two separate dexes on Ergo blockchain and on Cardano blockchain, just under a single UI. You can just switch with one button between them. But the plan is to have cross-chain pairs to make swaps cross-chain between Ergo and Cardano, for example. That's it.
That's it.
Great. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for kind of queuing us up to what comes next. And that is actually a showcase of ErgoDex. All right, Ilya. So why don't you show us a little bit of this really, really nice UI and what all these buttons do? And, do I click on anything and is it going to, I don't know, make stuff explode, or am I safe? Just give us a brief overview.
Yeah, sure. Well, let's take a look at the ErgoDex UI. Here we have a swap form and a top header. Top header allows us to switch between different parts of the DEX. First of all, it's swap. Allows to swap two different assets back and forth. And pool section stands for positions of liquidity provider. Like if I provided liquidity to some pair, for example, ARG, SigUSD, here I can manage it. I can add liquidity or remove my liquidity. And let's move on. Here we have a selector of network, a wallet control panel, like we can choose a wallet address to use for the DEX. And here we can see total balance in ARG of our wallet. And here we can look at non-mandatory assets we have in our wallet.
So yeah, show me how to add liquidity. Let's say, I'm Mr. Big Whale, and I want to put some of my liquidity into your pools on your DEX. What do I do?
Yeah, sure. You need to open this pool section and look at what pairs are available here. If you already have some positions in ErgoDex pools, they will be displayed here. And if you don't, and you want to add a new position, you click this button and select what pair you would like to provide liquidity to. For example, I'd like to provide ERG ErgoDex pair liquidity. Here I can select a pool available for this pair. I've just selected above. Here I can see the interest percent. I, as a liquidity provider, will earn for swaps made in this pool, and then I should basically input the amounts of ARG and ErgoDex to deposit.
Looks like you have an insufficient balance.
Yeah,
there.
But unfortunately, I don't have enough ErgoDex. So let me select like SigUSD. Well, moving forward, we have everything set up. Finally, let's click on Add Liquidity button, review all the settings here, and click Add. And then all we have to do is to confirm the transaction here in Yoroi. Pop up, click Confirm, and our transaction is submitted. Well, now we have to wait until it gets executed in the network. And we can see our operations here. For example, for add liquidity, it will look like this. This is already executed operation I've done some time before. And we can see this transaction on Explorer, how it looks actually in blockchain. For Ergo, it's Ergo Explorer. For Cardano network, it will be Cardano Explorer.
So what's happening on the Cardano side? You got anything to show us?
Yeah, on the Cardano side, it's basically looks the same. Pull section looks almost identical. We just have a different color solution for the UI to distinguish between Ergo and Cardano. On Ergo it's orange, on Cardano it's this light blue color, and basically the same. We can select a position, for example, for available assets there. ADA and, for example, JET USD.
Yeah, I see that. Sorry, but I just wanted to kind of point out that JED will be available on ErgoDex. So,
sure.
There are a lot of people that are asking about when JED, where is it going to be available, how to use it. Well, ErgoDex will support JED once it is live.
Yeah, and here we basically have the same. To confirm this add liquidity action, we click add liquidity, then add, then confirm everything in the wallet pop-up, and that's done.
That adds actually a really interesting use case. Me personally, I have some position in Cardano, and so if I were to go stable in JED, and in the future, if they're bridged together, I could, balance some type of stable portfolio that's backed by ADA and backed by Ergo. That would be a neat liquidity pair in the future.
Yeah. It's that's really big. I think that's it really helps paint the picture of how the two will work in concert. And this is really great. Thank you, Ilya. This is really great to show. In reality, okay, because everybody's talking DeFi on Cardano, everybody's talking swaps, everybody's talking DEXs. But really, I just feel like there's just not, well, it's a personal opinion, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not the all-seeing, all-knowing God of all Cardano, okay? There's other stuff that goes on. It's a huge ecosystem, but I just don't see enough of that. I don't see how these things will look like, really be kind of mainstream information for the community. And so this really helps. This really helps to visualize and to show people, okay, that's what it looks like. This is it. This is DeFi. This is Cardano DeFi. That's what it looks like. ErgoDex is showing it to you. And that's what Ergo DeFi looks like. There is no, you think of DeFi and then there's some sort of magic that happens in the middle and poof, you got DeFi. This is it. So I really like that. All right, Ilya. Well, that's really good. Thank you for showing us how to provide liquidity now. Well, can you show us what does a regular swap look like? So if I wanted to, swap, say, Ergo for SigUSD or whatever pair, show us what the process looks like from the beginning.
Yeah, sure. For a regular user, it's as simple as going to ErgoDex. And when a user opens this page, he already sees a swap form. He can select a pair he would like to swap. For example, he would like to swap his Sigma USDs for SIG RSV. Input here how much SIG USD he want to input, and see here how many SIG RSVs he will get as an output. Then review all the settings here if he want to change something like slippage tolerance or nitro. More on these parameters in ErgoDex documentation. It can be found here. And then actually we can click swap, review all the parameters there, how many SigUSDs, how many SigRSVs, all the settings we defined on the previous step, and confirm swap. Then ErgoDex connector pop-up will appear. Here we can confirm our transaction, and that's it. The operation is submitted, and actually we can look at it here in the transactions history. We can look at already executed transaction, for example, that I've done some time before. here we have a link for Explorer in order to look at the operation, how it looks in the blockchain actually. Well, for Ergo, it's Ergo Explorer. For Cardano side, it will be some Cardano Explorer.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how it looks in the UI.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, that just seems really easy, really straightforward. Like I said, really clean. I really like that. I'll be using it for Ergo today, and I'll be using it for Cardano when the Cardano functionality is available. Which, as you said, something. When do you think that might be available as far as your roadmap goes?
Well, on Cardano, it's going to be available in the mid-January 2022.
Excellent, excellent. So not too long from now. I mean, we're almost in mid-December. So mid-January is not that long away. And, everybody really wondering about, DeFi on Cardano. When DeFi on Cardano, when DEX is on Cardano. I believe that ErgoDex is one of the first movers. They're really transparent about their progress. And so, Ilya, can you please give us a bit of a rundown of what does your roadmap look like, moving on from here? What does your roadmap look like? What are your plans? How do you plan to develop ErgoDex? What are your major milestones? So just please go ahead.
Yeah, now we're in IMM DEX is already implemented on Ergo and almost implemented on Cardano. We are thinking on how to expand ErgoDex, and we are thinking of expanding ErgoDex to a kind of decentralized finance ecosystem for Ergo and Cardano blockchains to make it kind of driver for Ergo growth. First of all, we are going to tokenize ErgoDex to help its liquidity to grow. Basically, what we're going to do is to reward liquidity providers of ErgoDex with some additional amounts of native token of the platform. So, liquidity providers would have more incentive to provide liquidity, to utilize the resources of the DEX more. Well, that's like a next major milestone besides launching on Cardano.
Oh, very exciting.
The same that is launched on Ergo.
Very
exciting.
What
other kind of long-term features do you have on your roadmap? What are we looking at in a DeFi ecosystem? Moving further, in order to expand to a real DeFi ecosystem, a decentralized lending protocol is required. So we now thinking of how to add it to ErgoDex protocol. So we will have a DEX and a lending platform, and having these two services like in one protocol, this will open the door for different liquidity or yield farming strategies possible in this system. So basically, users, liquidity providers will be able to utilize their investments much more efficient than they can in a regular IMM DEX, like in regular liquidity pools. And if you get into the order book, I heard there was some issue that you were working on sorting out. Can you explain that to me at all?
Yeah, as for order book, actually, that was the first feature of ErgoDex implemented. It was implemented even earlier than automated market makers. But then we discovered during security analysis, we discovered that completely open market for order book DEX like has many flaws. It has many possible ways for market manipulation, like different wash trading schemes. So now we are improving the protocol, and we will add it to ErgoDex probably, but it will be later. Also because there is not much demand from the community for order book DEX. For example, if we compare it to AMM DEX, it's much more like beneficial to the community for now.
I know there's been some confusion regarding the Ergo Foundation and ErgoDex, and I heard that you are in the process of incorporating. Is that the case?
Yeah, in order to make a business side of the project running more smoothly, we are going to create a separate legal entity for ErgoDex. We are going to create a company that is responsible for support and development of the ErgoDex protocol. So we are going to release more details on that, how it will be named, this labs company in the our update soon.
So you're not breaking up with me. If I have an Explorer issue, I can still get you back to help us out, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like that one episode of no, it was in the movie, you know, the Sex and the City movie, the second one, where she is like divorcing her husband. She just wanted to keep her old apartment, right? So you're gonna have another apartment, but we're still together, right? We're still together.
I'm still an Ergo developer, so I'm not going to go somewhere. I like Ergo, but we need to develop ErgoDex also, and we need a company for that.
Excellent. Well, I really think that the business aspect of it is really important, you know, to iron out, and it's really good to hear that you're you know, that you're really focusing on that. I mean, what are your thoughts about it, Joe?
Well, personally, you know, I've worked with Ilya for a while. Great developer. I would love to see additional DEXs come onto the Ergo platform. Now, one thing that would do is it would create, let's just say, more balanced markets. It would open the opportunity to arbitrage pricing between DEXs and give us a greater price stability across the ecosystem. You know, I think even ErgoDex itself would benefit from that, just because it brings in a secondary economy where people can play the price difference in arbitrage. So hopefully, you know, we get a competitor on board that, you know, then gives Ilya a little bit of fire under his ass so he can, you know, start the race.
Good old capitalism.
Yeah.
We love it. Libertarian capitalism, you know, the rawest kind.
You know, we'll still be friends. I'm still rooting for you, Ilya, but I would love to see some competition.
Yeah. Well, hey, healthy competition is always good. You know, it's echo chambers are bad. Competition is good. And Ergo, as well as Cardano, are just, you know, all about that. You know, we don't want an echo chamber. We want robustness. You know, we want competing businesses to make the ecosystem better, to build on top of the ecosystem. Well,
yeah, first of all, the community both of Ergo and Cardano will benefit from it. And actually, I think ErgoDex can become a major driver for, first of all, Ergo to grow in the long term.
Yeah,
so it can
hear
help
a lot.
utilize Ergo inside the system, create new possibilities for it.
I hear
For
a lot
people
of traders
to reinvest ERGs here, they mind, not moving them away from the system like on some centralized exchanges, but using Erg right there on the Ergo blockchain. That's what I guess Ergo was created for, like a platform for contractual money for DeFi.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, Ilya, thank you very much for coming once again. It was great to see the UI. It was great to hear about the company and the project and what your plans are. We're really all looking forward to seeing a lot more come out of you and the group. Just really excited about it. So thank you very much for coming on the show. And so please don't forget to follow the ErgoDex Twitter, as well as what other social media you have that you'd like the viewers to check out?
First of all, our GitHub, I guess, because all our code is transparent, all the development process can be tracked there.
Okay, great. Yeah, again, transparency. I like that.
Yeah.
Ergo is all about transparency, and one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of ErgoDex is because of transparency. You guys want to see where it's at? Go to the GitHub. Go to the GitHub. Check out their Twitter. Ask them questions. Ilya, he's right there. Everybody's really active in the community, and Ergo Telegram. So these guys are just easily reachable. So ask them questions. They're there for you. They're there to give you clarity, and I'm sure that they'll be more than happy to talk to users and potential users and just kind of explain, what's going on and what to expect. So thank you very much. And so I guess this is a good place to leave it off for the first episode of Ergo Pulse. So anything you'd like to add, Joe, before we call it a day or a night, or here it's day, Moscow it's morning, and
here it's night.
in Colorado it's night. So
well, my one last question to Ilya would be, do you have a plan for a protocol audit from an external entity? I know that's something that really differentiates dApps, best security practices, getting extra eyes on the code.
Yes, sure. Besides cross review and review from community developers from Ergo and Cardano, we are thinking of employing a company working on making a runtime verification of programs. So we will update you on that later. We're just searching for a suitable company to make that for us.
Well, I personally appreciate that commitment. That sets you apart from a lot of projects in the space that aren't open and don't have that extra audit stamp.
Yeah, transparency. It's all about transparency, and we appreciate that, and the community appreciate it as well. And I really think that will make projects stand out from the rest by giving transparency to the community, by showing them what's going on, when is it going on, and how it's going on. So again, Ilya, thank you very much for coming on the show, and thanks everyone for watching. And I am Daniel Friedman. Joe, you're Joe?
Yeah, Joseph Arminio, Ergo Foundation, and thanks for watching Ergo Pulse.
Yeah, thank you guys for inviting me. I was glad to speak about ErgoDex here today.
Great. Well, hopefully we can have you on again. And please, when you get super successful, don't forget about us.
Yeah, sure. I'll try to.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot, and we will see you soon.